Hello everyone, take a look at what I have for you today. This is a brand new 2018 CRKT design. This is the 7730 Offbeat, designed by Crawford, I believe. And now this knife, what initially drew me to this is that I have seen this knife before, I have seen this design before, and I've seen early versions of this same identical design sold by A.G. Russell. And they still do sell a variant of this knife, but these nice plain steel sides were a model that I believe has been discontinued. So you can still find older versions of this knife on eBay, places like that, but you're going to pay a lot of money for it. So I'm really glad to see that CRKT brought this design back into production with of course modern materials and at a very, very low price point. So this one right here I got from GP Knives for about $22.95, which is an amazing price for really what you get in this knife. So take a closer look at it. It is a lockback design, which has a really cool style to it. This entire back side of the knife is the lock spring, and there's a notch built right into the blade where the lock rests, and of course it sits in there and locks the blade right into place. So it's a very classic style, very minimalist, and it's very thin to look at. So you can see how super thin this knife is. Really nice. And one thing that I did notice looking at all of the vintage knives of this same style, they look almost identical. The only difference is an improvement that was made by CRKT in that they added this really nice pocket clip. So this is your standard 3-hole, it looks to me what I call a Benchmade style pocket clip, in that it looks very simple, nothing exotic, just something that's going to hold it into your pants, and it's nice and shiny just like the rest of the knife. The pocket clip is only tip up right hand side carry, which actually is a good thing because sometimes CRKT puts tip down on their knives, and this is a pleasant surprise to see it tip up carry. So they added this nice modern pocket clip to it. But you can see even in this video how nice and shiny the material is. This is all stainless steel handle. And of course the blade itself, being modern production at this price point, this is an 8CR 13 MOV blade. So on the front side here you can see the CRKT logo. There we are. So get a closer look at that. Uses Torx pivot. Has nice knurled handles where the lock is. Little thumb studs there on both sides. And this is the Offbeat, a Crawford design. And you can see the number very closely right there, the 7730. So very nice slim EDC knife, and the size could be a little bit misleading because this is actually what I would consider a full-size knife. Some of you might call it a mid-size knife because it is about 8 inches long in terms of overall length, and the blade length is 3.5 inches. So this is not small in hand. This is, for me, this is my favorite size blade, and so that's again one of the reasons why I decided to purchase it. But it's great to see a classic design resurrected by a modern company, and so more people can get their hands on it, because I've seen the design before. It looks really good, but I'm not willing to pay the prices that you see on eBay for it, which are just too much for a vintage knife, and especially one without a pocket clip, or at least not the option for a pocket clip. If you really don't like the clip, you could always take it off and it would be just thin and slim, just like the originals. But it does have double thumb studs on both sides of the blade, and that's how you open it. And you might think with this unique lockback that it would be slow to open, but it actually flicks out no problem at all. It's very smooth. Opening and closing it, no real problem. They do advertise it as a one-hand open and close, although trying to close it with one hand is not quite as easy as I would like it to be. Maybe with practice I can get better. I could definitely actuate the lock and then push it against something and close it that way. But to be on the safe side, you might want to do a two-hand close. But definitely a one-hand opener. With just a little bit of thumb action, the blade flies out of the handle, no problem. This one is, again, brand new, so it does have a little bit of squeakiness to it. I don't know if you can pick that up. It's kind of hard to get on camera, I imagine. But you can check out the centered blade right there. It's a little, looks like it might be a little bit off, but for how thin the knife is, I don't mind one bit. And really at the price point, you can't really ask too much of CRKT at this price point. $22.95. You might see it at other places, $24.95. I just bought this from GP Knives, and again, not affiliated with them at all. They were just the first ones to have it in stock, and so they beat everyone else to the punch. But from what I see now, most retailers are carrying this knife and all of the 2018 models for CRKT. Again, this is something I really like to look at. It's very smooth. I love that there are really no fasteners on the handle. Like this front side is just completely blank. It makes me wonder how they pinned it together, because if you look closely, I don't know if the camera will even pick that up. You can see in the back here there are 3 holes. See, and the camera doesn't even want to focus. There we go. Some holes. So it looks like there were pins driven through this knife, and then they were sanded flush. Which again, it's hard to see except in just the right lighting situation. So again, with the pins sanded down like that, I don't think you'll be able to disassemble this knife, which for some might be a downside. But I think what you get in as a result is just the extreme thin body, and it even has a lanyard hole. So again, just a lot of knife in this little package. So this is a great, what I would call a gentleman's knife, EDC knife. Nice plain edge blade, very sharp out of the box. I don't need to show you, believe me, it is sharp. But again, I'm impressed. This one is really nice to see. Goes in and out of pocket like a dream because of this smooth scale right here. And they got the weight down very nicely. So this knife, stainless steel handle, is under 3 ounces. I know they mentioned 3 ounces on their site, but I measured it myself. 2.93 ounces is what it came to on my scale, which for a 3.5-inch knife, again, is a really reasonable weight. So I expect this to be a winner because they hit the right price point. The design is pretty darn good looking to me. So again, if you have any questions about this knife, feel free to leave me a comment, let me know. Please do subscribe to my channel if you like knife videos, if you like videos like this one as well. YouTube recently has instituted some new rules on their channels. So if I get more subscribers, it's more likely I'm going to be able to do all the cool video effects that I like to do in my videos. So please do subscribe if you can, and I'll bring you more knife videos in the future. So this is really a cool piece. Again, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and good night.